Hey everyone, my name is Sakairos, and you may have heard by now that Netflix, the now fading titan of the streaming world, has been seeking to crack down on password sharing, a practice that they say loses them almost $6 billion a year in revenue. If you've been following the streaming wars on the internet for some time, you may know that recently Netflix has kind of started to drop off and people have started to realize that it kinda sucks. Because, you know, there's no real good content, only bingeable shows that are fun or trendy for a while before people proceed to care about them never again. Or when they do actually have good shows, they only have half the seasons for some reason. While services like HBO Max are consistently releasing tons of actually good content that people consider worth keeping a long-term subscription for. Because of this massive dip in revenue, Netflix has decided that rather than buy or produce shows that are actually good to put on their service, or shows that appeal to anyone other than people with Disney adult energy, they should eliminate the ability to share passwords. Now, password sharing has been a big part of Netflix for a long time and a big part of streaming for a long time because Netflix is the one that kind of started all that. And you know, Netflix has been saying that they're gonna do something about password sharing for a while, and there's been a lot of speculation about what that's gonna look like. There's been a lot of backlash over this, even though they haven't really said anything about it until recently. But just a few days ago, Netflix updated their frequently asked questions page to outline a sort of basic description of what these new anti-password sharing policies are gonna look like. So let me give you guys the TLDR. Basically, Netflix is going to require users to set a home location based on a Wi-Fi network, and users will need to sign into that home Wi-Fi network at least once every 31 days. And if you don't do that, or if you access your Netflix account multiple times from another location, even if the device is linked to your home Wi-Fi, your account will be blocked. So there's a few problems with this, which I'll go over later, but the first thing is just why so harsh, you know? It seems like Netflix probably could have implemented this a little more smoothly. I personally am gonna go against the grain here. I'm not completely opposed to the idea of Netflix taking some steps to reduce password sharing a little bit more, maybe not eliminate it completely, but I understand why they want to reduce it. Obviously, $6 billion is a lot of money for a company that doesn't exactly make a whole lot of profit anyways. So, you know, listen, controversial opinion, but it's kind of understandable why they would want to do this, but this is just way too harsh, especially for like a small first step. Like they're just adding this to their frequently asked questions page. I feel like they could have maybe eased into it a little bit, wrote down some stuff that was a little less insane, and then seen how people reacted to that first before ramping it up maybe. But I have like a few questions about this. For example, what happens if you're traveling and your trip is more than 31 days? Like after the 31 days, you just can't use your account anymore. It says in Netflix's little blurb about this that users can receive a temporary code to verify a device for 7 days. Basically, if your account like gets locked, or if you want to use your account away from home or something like that. Although it's a little unclear exactly what this means, and it's also unclear if this 7-day verification can be extended, like if you can just keep getting verified for an additional 7 days multiple times, in which case it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's not really a problem. But if you can't keep getting verified, then it just kind of makes Netflix unusable when you're traveling. Like for example, I personally am going on a trip to Europe this summer that is going to last more than 31 days. And, you know, I would like to be able to maybe watch Netflix on the, I don't know, 10-hour or so plane flight home. Like, am I just screwed, or is there something that I can do about it to be like, hey, Netflix, I'm gonna be traveling for more than 31 days. Please don't block my account because there's no possible way that I can go link to my home Wi-Fi network in California. And what about kids that are going off to college and want to use their parents' account? Like, are they going to be locked out? Is the entire account going to be locked out, or just that user that is logged into that device from a different location? Would it possibly be allowed that you can set multiple home Wi-Fi networks? I mean, that's a thing that, like, with certain apps that allow you to set a home, that's a thing that's pretty common among those apps. apps. So I would assume that Netflix is probably going to implement something like that where you can set multiple households, but they don't say anything about that in their frequently asked questions, their little thing that they wrote. So I don't really know. Honestly, this whole thing that they added to their FAQ page, it really raises a lot more questions than it gives answers. I feel like this was a pretty unclear attempt at sorting out some of, the public's questions about what this whole anti-password sharing initiative is going to look like. Like I said, I'm not totally opposed to this whole idea of cracking down on password sharing. I just don't think they need to go nuclear bomb mode with it and start threatening to like block people's accounts for reasons that aren't even really password sharing. Just like a lot of this stuff isn't really even about password sharing. It's about using your account from a different location that's not your house. And I feel like they could have done better. If you don't know, the CEO of Netflix and guy who started the company, Reed Hastings, actually stepped down as CEO. So if this is policies that are being come up with by the new guy and being approved by him, I don't really know about him. So yeah, that's my thoughts about the Netflix password sharing situation. Just wanted to inform you guys about that. I have a bowl of mac and cheese in front of me that I have to be getting back to now before it gets cold. So I will see you guys later. See you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, until next time.